Hi guys, I hope you can hear me okay. I just wanted to make this quick little snippet to put in front of my videos because I'm afraid of the backlash that I'm going to get. These wellness videos are about me and my journey, and I want to make sure that the community understands that it is what I am doing in my life to be able to live my best life. I am a single mom who works a demanding career. I am not on disability. I probably should be, because if you look at the list of illnesses that I have and conditions, every single one of them is on the disability list. So I just wanted to let you know that these videos are about me and not about you. If you get anything out of them, I feel like I have helped someone, and that would be a great feeling to have. And maybe it will help someone, maybe it won't, and that's okay. But I am not trying to push my thoughts on the wellness group on you. I just want to share my experience and see if others can benefit from it. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy the wellness series. I have 2 videos that will be having this prelude to the video added. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, do all the things so that you can see all the future videos. I am planning on posting every Monday and Friday for this foreseeable future. For 1, it gives me something to do. For 2, I hope it will help someone. So thank you and have a nice day.
Hi, welcome back to Breakthrough Explorer. I am Marcy. Welcome if you're new. Hello if you're not. Hope you're doing well. I mentioned at the end of my other series that I was going to talk about the wellness group that I got to take part in from Mayo Clinic. So I got hooked up with them because of all the acute injury pain that I was dealing with in my lower back, and they had a wellness group that they were demoing virtually. So especially they started this during COVID, and they wanted to see how it would work out. And so it was a 10-week wellness group that met for 2 hours every week, and through a private Zoom session, and it was fantastic. I felt like I learned a lot, and there were actionable steps that were given in that wellness group. And so I just wanted to kind of share some of the things, because I think it's not talked about enough, and I've had a lot of success with the things that I have learned, and I hope to carry those forward. And I know that in the chronic pain community, it is hard to know what's real, what's not real, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And there's a lot of lashback when it comes to, is there anything that you can actually do on your own to help your chronic pain? And Mayo has been doing research on this for years. And I know that in the UK, they've been doing research on chronic fatigue and ME, and the findings recently kind of contradict what Mayo Clinic has set out as their plan. And but I just wanted to share my personal experience with it, and because maybe someone else can benefit from it. They do say that we can share the information that we get from the group. We just can't share anything about the personal stories of others. I will share my personal story, as I did in the 5-part series about my acute injury that I received in January of 2020, and did not seem to get any relief from it until just this December of 2020. It is temporary relief, and that is why I'm focusing so hard on the steps that I've learned in the wellness group, because I think if I can implement a good pattern to benefit my own health, then I will have good results going forward, or at least coping mechanisms that work, and to make the adjustments as my chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia and the injuries that I do have with CRPS, that they are manageable. And that is my goal, is that I need to manage them so that life itself can be managed as well. So let's get into what I learned at the wellness group. So during the 10-week program, they kind of implemented things through a process that relates to therapy. They picked small subjects each week to talk about, and we would talk about them, we would learn about them, and then we would be expected to make a goal for that next week that was related to the topic that we talked about. Some of the topics that we talked about were movement and nutrition, moderation, balance, strength training, to name a few. I won't go through each of them right now in this video. I am probably going to break this up into segments so that it is not too overwhelming. I'm going to start with the first one, which is moderation. Moderation is really hard to do, especially when you're first diagnosed and you're used to doing all the things all the time, and then all of a sudden your body cannot handle that. And so they wanted to give us coping skills that would help us deal with moderation, and how to implement that into our lives so that we could still get all the things done, but not wear ourselves out in the process. You know, we talk in the chronic illness community and chronic pain, chronic fatigue about spoon theory, and that you only have so many spoons in a day. And that's true. If you think about the spoon theory as if it was money, if you were an able-bodied person, you could have $10 million and have all the energy. That's when you have all the energy in the world to be able to do anything that you want to do. But in the chronic illness community, we only maybe have $100 at any given point. And so we don't have energy to go all the time. There's quite a difference between that 10 million and the $100. And so when we decide how we're going to spend that energy or spend that money in any given day, we have to really be careful about how much we use. If we use all $100, then there's nothing left. And that's where we find ourselves in a flare, and we can't move around. We're pretty much in bed, and there's nothing left to give. So the moderation aspect is a big one that Mayo talks about, and how to plan for all the activities that you would want to do, because they do encourage you to continue to live your life. They don't want you to stop living your life. We all need a quality of life of some sort, and they do encourage that we keep trying to do that, but we need to figure out how to pace and moderate those activities. So, for example, when I go to clean my apartment, it is not huge, but it is more than I can do in a day. And so I have to pick activities, maybe one per day, to do as far as cleaning goes, and then spread that out throughout the weeks to be able to keep up with keeping my apartment clean. And that has been really helpful, and I've started to schedule it in my planner to say this is the activity or the cleaning that I want to do today. The other thing that I do is I keep a routine. I wake up at the same time every day. I go to bed around the same time every day. There are days when I try to stay up later. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but for the most part, I keep the same routine every day. And that has been very helpful for me to manage all the things that my energy throughout the day. Staying in bed all day does not help me gain any more energy. My fatigue is always there, but I feel better knowing that I'm getting up and trying to participate during the day. So that is one of the things that they tell us, is to schedule out that day and figure out what your wake times and sleep times are going to be, because that will help create a pattern in your brain, and your body will be like, okay, this is how we do this, and this is how we moderate through it, and it actually is helpful. The other thing that is related around moderation is they talk about movement. When it comes to, and I use the word movement, I don't use the word exercise, because exercise has a lot of negative connotations that come along with it. It's all the things that I used to be able to do instead of the things that I'm able to do right now. My movement is a lot different, and I have to moderate that movement on any given day. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 15 minutes, and sometimes it's 20 minutes. I go based on how I'm feeling that day, because I don't want to overexert myself, because if I overexert myself, then the likelihood that I'm going to be able to do the other things that I need to do on my day it's going to be pretty slim to none. So if I overdo my movement. So I have gotten to where I do my stretching for about 5 minutes, and then I do some sort of a little bit more cardio related. I've been walking the stairs in my apartment at this point to go up and down to kind of get a cardio component. But I notice that if I get too worn out and I just decide to stop, because I know that if I overdo it for whatever my energy is that day, I will not be able to get the rest of my day done. So I moderate my movement. The other thing that I do is I moderate or pace the amount of work that I do in a day. I am a recovering workaholic. I used to work 12, 14 hours a day, sometimes 6-7 days a week, and I have had to moderate that back to a normal schedule. I do still work 10 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, and usually take Fridays off. Sometimes I work a few hours on Fridays, or I balance out the rest of the week if I, by chance, have had to miss work for something else. So I just kind of work a flexible schedule. I am so grateful that I have that opportunity to do that, and have the accommodations that I've requested to be able to do that. So that is something that you could look into if you're working, to ask for medical accommodations, to have a flexible schedule and have a so that they know that that's what you're doing and that you're not just not working. It's just that you're working it at your pace, and that's been such a blessing to be able to do that, because there are days when I just can't do it, and then I know, okay, if I rest today, then that means that I'm going to have to do something tomorrow. So those are a few things that I do around moderation. There's also things around my personal hygiene that I do. I may not shower every day. I make sure I'm clean. But I also know that, it's okay to not take a shower every day if that's too much energy to spend that day. The other thing that I do around personal self-care is with my meals. I tend to do my cooking once a week, maybe twice a week, and then I save the leftovers to eat the rest of the week, and that saves me energy on those other days to be able to do something else that I would like to do. So I kind of space that out a little bit, and that has been super helpful. So that is a little bit on moderation, and those are the types of things that they have taught us at the Mayo Clinic. I hope that is helpful, and I will be sharing more next week, or actually on Friday, about a few more techniques that they have taught us at the Mayo Clinic. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you take care of yourself. Self-care is so important, and it can help break some of the old habits that we have so that we can have the best quality of life that we possibly can. Thank you for watching.